Okay, why don't we get started? I want to welcome everyone for joining another webinar in the IMS webinar series. This one is on the IMS Complete Venue. Today, presenters will be myself, Steve Massey, Aaron Blair, and Tom Schrader. So without further ado, why don't we jump into today's agenda? So for those that are kind of new to the webinar series, we're going to talk a little bit about IMS, who we are, what we do. We'll give a little overview about the complete venue. We'll provide a high-level demonstration. And then, of course, via chat, you'll be able to enter any questions that you have as we wrap things up. So let's get into a little bit about IMS, who we are. Organization founded in 1993, so we've been around and working in the business for quite some time. Our background is grounded in technology infrastructure and enterprise technology. We are a software developer. Status is our product, our cross-system integration, rewards, engagement, business intelligence platform. We've also done numerous integrations to all the applications that we sell, as well as customizations and custom applications also. We are top U.S. business partner for Retail Pro in North America. And as many of you know, Retail Pro is the top global mid-market retail solution in the market today. We're also a top business partner for eMobile Point of Sale, which is an agile point of sale system that also serves as a fantastic food and beverage solution. We have expertise in implementing and integrating complex multi-system environments. We've quite strong penetration in all of the major sports and work in a variety of venues, stadiums, arenas, cultural institutions, national and state parks, as well as theme parks, theme and water parks. We have very broad and deep experience. IMS provides services and support for over 700 customers, 2,600 inventory locations, thousands of point-of-sale workstations. Again, we've served hundreds of stadium and arena clients, parks and destinations clients. And as mentioned, we've been really had a very strong presence in North America, and recently have had an opportunity to become a global provider with providing services for new customers in China and South Korea, and we will be continuing to expand our global footprint. Sampling of some of our major clients and major events that we've supported with all of the applications that we'll be talking about today. All of the most recent Super Bowls, NFL experiences, U.S. Tennis Open, international exhibits, the King Tut exhibit, as well as the City Neon movie experience exhibits, and World Equestrian Games, just to name a handful. So our systems have performed under very high-profile environments as well as high-pressure environments. So let's get into an overview of the complete complete venue, excuse me. So really kind of starts with the premise of primary goals. And your primary goals for your team, your leagues, and your venues. First is really to maximize the fans' share of wallet. And second, to drive significant new incremental revenue, both in venue and out of venue. Obviously doing this to increase lifetime value for your existing fans, and just as importantly, bringing new fans into the portfolio. Additionally, you're looking to gain enterprise-wide fan and transactional insights on a real-time basis and be able to access those in any device. And that would be information from your ticketing systems, your food and beverage systems, retail systems, and mobile applications. Obviously allowing you to identify each fan or customer and their in and out of venue journey. And of course, for the fans, being able to reward them, engage them, and really surprise and delight all of your fans through their in and out of venue journey. Now, the primary way that we would look to support you in this effort is really starting with creating new, unique ticket bundles, really through a segmented approach. That would include, obviously, ticket to your event or your venues, as well as specific rewards as part of the bundle that can be redeemed at any of the integrated systems in the solution, whether, again, mobile, concessions point of sale, kiosk point of sale, retail merch point of sale. And creating these bundles in a way that encourage your fans or customers to act in a way that you desire. So by doing this, this is going to give you the opportunity to connect, engage, and drive new revenue with these fans and customers, again, through their in and out of venue journey. So the challenge, though, has been a historical one, which is who or how to connect all of these various systems to drive maximum value. So when we look at that, we're talking about many systems that are essential to your business, from mobile wallets, mobile ordering, to food and beverage point of sale, retail merch point of sale, ticketing system and ticketing system integrations, creating ticket bundles and rewards, doing planning to maximize revenue around those bundles, loyalty currencies, integration capabilities across all these systems, and doing so in a way that allows access to all of the data on a real-time basis. And then, of course, having a robust business intelligence capability to access this data. And you have a lot of point solutions along the way here. Obviously, our complete venue, which we'll get into a little details on shortly. But you have your mobile-only providers, your food and beverage providers, your retail merch providers, your ticketing systems, your loaded value or loyalty systems, your business intelligence applications, your integration hubs or point-to-point integration technologies. So all of these various providers are going to be point solutions at different parts here against all of the systems you need. But who has the ability to bring them together in a way to maximize value? And from our perspective, it's really the IMS complete venue, really hitting each one of these systems and having them be connected and integrated in a way that's going to drive maximum value. So when we really kind of highlight what those pieces and parts are in our solution, the hub of that is Status Integrate, which is our integration hub, connecting all of these pieces and parts together. It would bring together your ticketing system, obviously bringing rewards and bundling through our Status Rewards and Bundling capabilities, bringing ticket bundle planning to you to increase profitability and opportunities for success, offering mobile ordering and payments through eMobile's Topic application, offering food and beverage point of sale through eMobile POS, retail merch point of sale through Retail Pro, loyalty capabilities through loyalty status loyalty, as well as providing business intelligence capabilities for all of these touch points with status intelligence. That's going to really provide the opportunity to give you best-of-breed business line systems, empowering you to drive operational excellence across your business lines, and having those seamlessly integrated that's going to allow you to provide an unrivaled fan bundling, reward, and engagement experience across those systems, giving you access to all the data that these systems provide, yielding you significant new revenue and cost savings through simplification and bundling. And kind of to close things up is really helping you maximize your investments through our marketing program as a service. We have recognized over the years that many of our partners don't have the time or resources to really plan their bundling appropriately. And we are now offering those services to help you maximize your investments through team analysis, macro plan development, bundle planning, event and game day planning and support up to communication and advertising as appropriate. Game day monitoring, plan adjustments with game and season analytics review as well. So supporting you not only with products but services to maximize your investment. Empowering you to engage your fans with really a seamless experience through their in and out of venue journey. From planning to mobile entrance to rewarding, engaging fans at point of sale with mobile payments. Obviously gaining deep insights about those fans on a real-time basis. Rewarding and engaging for mobile ordering with mobile payments. Again, continuing to get real-time access. Engaging with in-store scan to build a mobile shopping cart and pay with mobile payments. And again, continuing to gather those insights to help create more relevant, compelling ticket bundles and engagement opportunities. And then the cycle begins again. So really, our complete venue solution, we believe, will support you and empower you to support your fans through this kind of an experience. So with that being said, let's jump over into the live system highlights. I am going to pass this over, and Aaron will take you through some of those components.
Okay, so for the demo portion, we are, of course, going to look at the complete venue. And when we say complete, we really mean that, because not only are we able to offer the Retail Pro for retail point of sale, but also eMobile for food and beverage, along with its kiosk and mobile customer-facing app. We also have status, of course, for promotions, stored value, loyalty, many other things that can be done with that. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by looking at the mobile app. There's a few things that I want to go over here, and then we'll move on to some basic stored value transactions and some promotional transactions to show you what those capabilities are going to look like. And then we'll wrap it up with our status intelligence product, which is gives you the ability to do dashboards and really pull at all of the data that status is gathering among all of the systems in the complete venue. So this is what the Topics app looks like, whether it be on iOS or Android, as my phone is a Galaxy Note 10 Plus here. This is a fully configurable home screen, and this is with the out-of-the-box version. So you can configure what images are here, what they do, and you'll see what these do. But just to explain them so you understand, this top button here, this begins a mobile order, takes you directly into the mobile menu. And below this is actually just a link to our IMS website as an example that any one of these can go to a URL as well. So if that were to your team site, maybe some video highlights, some in-game activities, things like that, you can fully control this right out of the box. And then even above and beyond that, you actually have the ability to white label this app. So it would look and function fully as your team or your venue app with all of your branding. No one would know that this was the Topics app. So that is an option as well to have this fully white labeled. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to create a basic order, and then I'm going to go back through a couple of these other features here on the main screen. So as you come in here, this is going to prepare your store. And I think it's important to note that you can have multiple locations, multiple menus. So for example, this is a concessions menu. And if you're asking, well, how do I get this? How do I load this as a user, as a fan? Generally, that's just going to be through a simple QR code. And that QR code is going to take you to the app. It's going to automatically load whatever menu makes sense. So if you are in a particular seat and there's a QR code on the seat in front of you, that may point your order to the closest concession stand available. If it's a retail store, it would, of course, point you to the retail menu. And you can have as many of those as you like. Certainly, another example would be a suite holder. So within the suite, they would have a simple QR code, and that would pull up a suite's food menu, maybe retail, anything that they could purchase and have brought to their suite. So a lot of flexibility and options there, really to steer people where you need them to go based on proximity, based on many other factors. You control what those are. So we're just going to put together a simple order. I'm going to do French fries. You can see if I select on that, just says, hey, how many do you want to add? I think we're all very comfortable with apps like DoorDash or Uber Eats, where you simply go in, pull up a menu, and select the items you want without any real instruction. So I'm just going to add French fries to the cart. If you want to grab a bigger image of anything, you can touch on the picture, and that will actually pull up a larger image. I'm also going to add a hamburger. And I think we'll go ahead and get a soda as well, kind of make this a complete meal. Okay. And as I touch each of these and add them, you can see the shopping cart logo in the top right. So that's increasing. I now have 3 items in here. And if I go to that cart, we're going to see all the basic information. It's $15. You can also, what's nice is you can set specific pricing for the mobile app as well. So if you want to offer a percentage off to anyone who uses the mobile app, let's say 20%, well, they would come in here and they would see each of these items at $4. So they would see them, at a 20% discount. I'm just going to go ahead and follow through and check out. Now you see options for delivery, pickup in store or curbside or car side delivery or table service. The verbiage here can be changed, but I think you get the general idea that we just have different options here, whether that be delivery or whether it's in-seat service. So any of those can be done. I'm just going to do a simple pickup, and that's going to take me to my checkout. So if I want to select a date and time, I can do that. My phone number is already here, and if I want to put in any additional notes, no problem as well. Simply going to hit continue. And what it's going to do is it's going to find any payment cards that I have stored in my digital wallet. And we'll talk about the digital wallet a little bit more in a few minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select the top card. These are both just test cards. And I'm going to go ahead and just pull this off the screen quickly while I enter my phone security code. And now it's going to go ahead and process my credit card payment. My order is now paid for, and I'm going to receive a receipt in the form of a text message, an email, and as well in my digital wallet. So let's talk about that. The Tuppix app gives you the ability, and really your fan or user, the ability to have things stored in a digital wallet, the same as you would an Android wallet or an Apple wallet, Samsung or Google. Really, they all serve the same function. So as I go into the wallet, we're going to see a few things here. Number one is my receipts. So if I wanted to go pull up my receipts, this will refresh, and we can see all of the various receipts. Here's the $15 that I just did, and that is for my fries, hamburger, and soda. So if I needed to show this at a pickup window, certainly this would be an easy way to say, yes, I'm verifying that this is my order, and in fact, I paid for it. The other ability we have here is not only to store payment cards like credit cards, but digital cards and tickets. And let me show you what I mean by that. So I'm just going to select that option, and you can see I have various barcodes in here. So I have a status demo ticket that I use quite often. If I select that, that actually pulls up a barcode that can be scanned right off my phone. So you could actually use this at a payment terminal. Additionally, I have just another barcode, and then the one I'll be utilizing today, which is just my generic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which I've called Complete Venue. But again, you can scan these barcodes right off the phone. Everything's here, everything's stored. This could be a season ticket holder number. This could be some sort of a discount or coupon code. Really anything that the user wants to load in here to be able to access as a barcode, they can. And then in addition to that, there's actually a Pay Now function. So we're back here on the main screen. If you look at the top right, got Pay Now. And this is actually going to allow you to access your payment cards, your credit cards that are stored in here. So if I tap down here, it's just going to say, hey, what card or payment device do you want to use? You can scroll back and forth. I'm simply going to select one. And again, I'm just going to drag this off the screen while I enter my phone security code. And this is actually going to bring up a QR code. So this is a QR code that I could use at an e-mobile point of sale register to pay for my food rather than have to pull my credit card out. So again, it's an integrated payment wallet. And then the last thing I wanted to show within the app, and this is a nice feature, especially as you think about uses for retail, right? So we're looking at concessions here. We're looking at food and beverage, but let's say I also want to use this in a retail environment. Well, if you look next to the shopping cart at the top right, there's a camera icon. That camera icon is going to turn on the camera on my phone and actually allow me to scan a barcode. So I have a barcode printed on a piece of paper here. Let me just go ahead and launch this. And we can see it added an item to our cart, an item that was not on the menu, Nixon Regulus. It's a watch, and it's a $150 watch. So like I said, it's added that to my cart. So what's the use case for this? Well, the use case is in a retail store. Imagine telling your fans they can go in and they can build their own shopping cart. So either I provide you a clear bag that you can walk around, scan items, place them in the bag, or you simply put together a cart or basket, and then you still come to a traditional point of sale counter, check out with a cashier, but through your own app. And then that cashier is simply going to fold, verify, bag, do whatever else needs to be done with your items. But again, I could walk through the store, scan all of my items, check out with my credit card, and simply show my digital receipt at the door to say, here you go, I purchased 3 items. You can see on this receipt, I paid for all 3 of said items. So it's a really nice option, especially as you start to think through contactless and touchless and really just limiting the interaction of people within close physical proximity. It's a real nice option to be able to do that and to be able to allow customers to do their own, to build their own order. Okay. And that's really everything I wanted to show in the mobile app. Of course, we're talking about a mobile app that is integrated with status because we are talking complete venue. So the ability to utilize your stored value, your ticket, your barcode, whatever the case is within this app as well. I did credit card, as I said, for the example, because it was a quick and simple way to show a complete transaction. All right. Then I want to jump over now to more of the traditional point of sale. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up my wallet, and I'm going to pull up my digital cards and grab my complete venue barcode here. So on my point of sale unit, which I have sitting next to me, I do have a barcode scanner, and I'm going to be able to scan this barcode directly off my phone as we utilize it for payment. Now, I want to go through a couple of basic transactions, as I said, just to show you the stored value capability and help you understand that, and then go through some promotions as well. So let's do the first transaction in retail. And before we start that, I wanted to show you this as well. This is a nice little application here. This is our status common. This is something that a concierge might have. So if I am a ticket holder and I lost my ticket that had value on it, or I want to add more value, or I just need to do anything that I need your help with, you can see that there are a lot of options here to help people. Anything from a balance check, somebody wants to know how much is left on their ticket, which of course can be done at point of sale as well, to getting detail and history, to adding or removing money, to activating or deactivating, so for a lost ticket, or transferring or merging. So if I come up and I say, look, I have 4 tickets, none of my other buddies showed up, I'd just like to put all this value on one ticket, great, you would have the capability to do that as well. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a simple balance check so we can see where this ticket 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that we're utilizing is at. And we can see that I'm starting with $100. So I have $100 available on this ticket. Let's go spend a little bit of it. And this is just my Retail Pro Prism point of sale. I've got a couple sports related items in here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab those. I'm going to get a logo baseball, and I'm going to get a program. So $30 total. We're going to go ahead and tender this. We're going to tender it with status. So status is just another tender. Very simple, very fast. There's no credit card being inserted into a device. There's no cash exchanging hands. We're simply scanning a barcode, which is our barcode 126 again, and we'll see that it's been updated to reflect the new balance of $70. So I can go back here instantly, because again, real-time connection. And now we see I have $70 available, okay? So let's go ahead and switch gears. We're going to swap out retail for a little bit of food and beverage. And I have a food and beverage point of sale actually connected through a Zoom meeting, so we can see it here on this screen. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to do our basic stored value transaction on our point of sale for food and beverage, which is eMobile. Okay. In this case, we're going to go with a French fries, and let's get a soda. And let's go ahead and check out. Again, we're going to just pick status, which is a tender. We can see in the card number spot here, this is where I'm going to go ahead and scan the barcode off my phone. And it's requesting $10. So let's go ahead and process that. And we can see that it went ahead, it processed, took $10, and we are good to go. And the reason that we're good to go is because, as I said, we had $70 left on there, which we had verified through a balance check, right? So now that we've gotten a couple of basic stored value transactions out of the way, let's talk about promotions. With status, you can do a variety of promotions. You have a configuration tool called the Status Manager. The Status Manager is going to allow you to manage and create all of those promotions. And really the promotion setup is pretty straightforward. You're deciding who can get it, right? So is it a certain individual? Is it a certain section, a certain row? Maybe it's a seat number. So everyone in seat 4, regardless of where you're sitting, you get 10% off of retail on your way out at the end of the night, right? So all of this is controlled by you, and you can set this up on the fly or however you like in order to give people these promotions. So let's go ahead and let's do one of these promotions. And the first one's pretty simple and straightforward. This is just a season ticket holder who gets 20% off of all food and beverage. So we know that our French fries are $5, and we know that our soda is $5, so that's $10. Let's go ahead and check out. We're going to do the same process of status, and this time I'm going to utilize a different barcode. This is a barcode that, as I said, has 20% off, and we're going to go ahead and process this. Right, so the 20% would be $2 in this case. But we see that the full amount of 10 was paid. Now, why is that? That's because this individual also had stored value. So the system is smart enough to know, hey, look at promotions first. If they get any discount or promotion, go ahead and give it to them. Then look to see if they have stored value. If they do, just go ahead and use it. There's not a reason to do 2 separate transactions for that. And then you can even go a step further to, let's say I only had $5 in stored value, so I still owe you $3. Let's go ahead and do that in cash or credit card. So all of that can be combined together. And then on the back end, I've gone ahead and pulled up the transaction history here. On the back end, we can see this transaction. This is the one we just did, 1:03 p.m. Right now it's 1:04. And you can see that this is broken down where $2 was the promotional value and $8 was done via ticket or via stored value. We can also see that the remaining amount on this ticket is $59. So this ticket I had been using earlier for some demo, it's run itself down from $100, and we can see that I'm now down to 59. But again, it breaks it out for you on the back end, but at point of sale, it's just a simple scan and a simple go. All right. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about for a second with the 20% off is the way in which status rounds. And this is important, especially if you're using digital menu boards or signage that advertises a season ticket holder price. So let's say, for example, you have a season ticket holder price of a $5 item at 20% off for $4, right? That's easy. That works every time. But let's say that you have an item that costs $7.25. and you want to advertise a nice round season ticket holder price of $6, okay? Well, we can round at the item level and then apply the promotion at the tender level. And why that's important is because we can set the system up to easily match your advertised prices just based on the way that we round and the way we apply tender. It sounds simple, but a lot of systems out there do not do it. And what happens is you run into issues where you're either giving too much of a discount to the customer or you are shorting them a small amount. And customers notice things like that, right? They know what the menu board says and they want to match that price exactly. So it's important that you have that ability to do so. All right. So for the next transaction, this is pick one. And this basically says that with your ticket, you get either a hamburger or a hot dog for free. It doesn't matter if you do them in the same transaction, which I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and select a burger and a hot dog. And in this case, it's simply going to say, okay, which one was added to the receipt first? It's the hamburger. You're going to get the hamburger for free. You're not going to get the hot dog. You have to pay for that or use stored value to cover it. And this is a one-time use. So as soon as I use this one time, I won't be able to come back and get another freebie, right? So let's go ahead and check out. And we're going to do a different barcode. This one has a pick one. And we can see that this was fully paid at $10. The reason being that there was stored value. I don't think we need to go through the transaction history again. But the fact that there was stored value, it went ahead and covered the other $5 because $5 was covered by the promotional value. Okay. And then the last promotion that I want to run through, this is a threshold promotion. And not only that, it's a threshold and it's a location specific, or I should say vendor specific. This is $5 off of $30 only at food and beverage, because you can specify that. You could say, I only want it to be on food and beverage. I only want it on retail. You could go even further to say, hey, we want to drive people to an underperforming concession stand. Maybe it's just a little out of the way. So let's give people $5 off of 20 or 30 if they go to that specific stand. Let's give people 10% off if they go to that specific stand. And you can do it at the item level, right? So we did it with a hamburger and hot dog. You can do an and or an or just a single item. The point I'm getting at is there's a lot of flexibility in how you can do your promotions. So we're going to do this two ways. First of all, we're going to do a transaction that falls under $30, because as I said, this is a $30 threshold. So we'll just get a few things, $15. And we'll go ahead and do status. And we're going to go ahead and scan this barcode and process. Okay, so we can see that it paid $10, and the only reason it paid $10 is because that's what we happen to have in stored value, but we didn't get our $5 off, which would have covered the whole transaction. So let's go ahead and pay the rest in cash. Right? And then what I'm going to do quickly, so I'm going to do another small transaction. I'm going to utilize our barcode. And we're going to see that 0 was paid. right? This is because we're under the threshold. We've already used up our stored value. So I just want to show that we legitimately were not getting any promotion. We were only using our stored value. This is saying, hey, sorry, your total's under $30. You don't get any discount. Okay, fine, I'll pay cash. No problem. Now I'm going to come back later. I know I'm going to get more stuff. Maybe I'm getting it for my family. So I know I'm going to go over 30, so I'll just use the promotion later. Okay? French fries, hamburger, couple of hot dogs, soda, get some more French fries, and another soda. So now we're at $35. We hit the threshold. We go. We utilize Addis. We input the card number. And we process. And now we receive our $5. And as you know, I don't have any stored value. We verified that on the last transaction. It was all used up. But you see I get $5 as a promotional value. And this is another one. You can say this is a one-time use, or you can say, hey, every time you're willing to come up here and buy more than $30 worth of food, I will give you $5. Because to me, as an operator, I'm still making money because I'm always pushing you to spend more money. So that's totally up to you, whether this is limited, whether it's tracked, and then how that happens. Maybe it's a two-time use. You can do some sort of tiered promotion. There's a lot of different options. Again, I just keep stressing that point because this isn't a simple percent off promotion platform. This is a true platform that has a lot of depth to it. Right, I'm just going to finish this transaction out in cash. And that, I think, is a good mix of different promotions to really get the point across, to really drive it home that we are very flexible in the platform and the things that you can do. All right, so the last thing that I wanted to cover, as I had mentioned, was the status intelligence. And status intelligence, let me just go ahead and minimize that and bring up our intelligence tool. So I'm actually already directly in a dashboard, and we're going to jump back and show you what my kind of main menu looks like, but I wanted to start here. So this is a dashboard that I've created called My Venue Today. And something we need to understand is the fact that because we get all the data, this really is encompassing the complete venue. And when I say all, I think it's important to note that with Retail Pro and eMobile, we're not only getting just status tendered transactions, we're getting all transactions, right? Even those paid with cash and credit card, so you have all the data here. So this is just a good example that you would utilize for the dashboard. And really, before I get into that, just want to go over the fact there are 3 different formats for this tool. So I'm using a Windows desktop version. There's also an online version, and then there's a mobile app on both Android and iOS. And the nice thing about the mobile app is it really is a reflection of the other versions, right? So here's my phone here, and you can see I have all of the same information, all of the same dashboards, just scaled to mobile. And there are no real limitations in the mobile either. You can go in and do full editing and exporting, and all of the other functions that exist in the desktop or web version can all be done here in mobile. So if you only work off of a phone or an iPad and you're never in front of a computer, that's fine. You have all the same data available to you. So this is just a good sampling of My Venue Today. So this is, of course, just filtered to anything that is always today's date. You can see I've got from top left, going from left to right and then down, top items by quantity. So this is everything, food and beverage and retail. You can see you can go in and highlight these. Top items by dollar. This is also everything. Here's a nice combo graph, quantity and dollars by vendor. So we can see that we've sold quite a bit more quantity in one versus the other, but because retail is generally higher dollar items, we can see that we did more dollars versus items. Here are top items for F&B, our top items for retail, and this one includes a drill down. So if you look here, we can see I've got 2 departments. My apparel has done almost 3/4 of total dollars, and that's just because of again, higher dollar items. I'm sorry, my apparel is my jerseys, and then novelties are the baseball, the program, the smaller items. So if I go into any of these and drill down, we can see that once I drill down, and let me go ahead and make this bigger as well. So you can easily expand out a single one. You can see that we've got things like the logo ball or bobblehead. This is a breakdown of the items, and then it's very easy to go back to where we were. You can modify, edit all of these on the fly. You can also lock that down from a user security standpoint. So if you have users that you just want them to be able to view these, that's fine as well. Or perhaps you have users that you say, hey, everybody gets the same 10 dashboards that are locked and you can't touch them. And then you can feel free to create all of your own outside of that. Right, so continuing on, just some KPI information, and then spend by ticket, because we really can get down deep in the data. So we can get down to the ticket or the customer on that side of it, and then on the item side, we can get all the way down to the individual item level. As you see, for example, a logo baseball or a jersey, any item that we've sold, we can get all of that information. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close this dashboard. And you can see I have several others here. Spend by customers, when I started working on. We saw some of that here in my venue today. Just a couple good examples. This is a customer that we do work with that does movie premieres in different countries. So for example, here's the Avengers premiere by country: Korea, China, and Canada. You can see that I've got all of the sales for ticket sales, including the day of the week, the time, and the dollars. This one also has drill downs, so let's go ahead and drill down into Canada. And then within Canada, we can see that I have data for July and August as sample data. And let's go ahead and select August, and we can drill down even further. And then we can start looking at days of the week, right? So as expected, Friday, Saturday, Sunday are going to be your biggest chunks for movies, and then you have your smaller days of the week here. Then we can just do a simple drill back up if we want to go back up to the country, or you can utilize these links here if you just wanted to go all the way back out. Another good example, this shows some of the filtering capability. This is a multi-team analysis, and this is just some example demo data for minor league baseball. So here are sales today versus yesterday in a nice combo graph. Of course, we can see situations where clearly a team had a game today and not yesterday, or vice versa. Revenue, year-to-date by revenue channel. Right, this is just another example that we get all the data. So you have ticketing, which you expect to be your largest revenue stream, and then F&B behind that and retail behind that. But because we have all of this information, we're able to display all of this together. And then just some year-to-date total sales by team. Again, this is just some made-up demo data. So we're not saying one team is better than another. This is just simply what was put together for this demo purpose. And then I talked about the filtering capabilities. If we go into this one, for example, the multi-team analysis, one of the things you'll notice is I added a filter and called it league. And this allows me to select one or more leagues. So if I only want to see the International League, I can simply uncheck the Pacific Coast and apply that. And we can see the entire thing is reflected to now just the 3 teams in the International League, and we're not seeing the Pacific Coast. If I want to bring it back, very easy to go in, reselect it, or if I've made multiple deselections and now I want everything, then I can simply say all. And then the last sample dashboard I have, this is just kind of a mashup of a lot of different sets of status data. So this is my status multi-system dashboard. This is actually pulling from very large sets of data, but you can see it is loading very quickly considering the millions of records that are sitting behind this. So in this multi-system dashboard, just have a few specific examples For example, charges by season and vendor. And maybe this is something we want to drill down into. So for example, I want to see how people are spending their gift cards. Well, I can drill down into gift card, and I can see that they're spending the majority of their gift card on food and beverage, which is what you would expect. They're spending a good chunk of it at retail, and then they're spending a smaller amount to purchase tickets to future games. Spend per game, top 5 departments for retail, just another example. So we can see that, what do we have here in purple? Novelties are our best-selling items. Our best sellers for beer. So not just all food and beverage, but we specifically want to see beer items. Sales by location. So these are different stands around the concourse, average spend by site, and then some customer related data again, right? So our top 5 customers by F&B, top 5 customers by retail. And with this combo graph, it's nice. We can look for certain anomalies. So we can look for someone who's buying a lot of items, but not spending a lot of dollars, right? So what is it they're buying? Are they buying the cheapest item on our F&B menu for a large group? Or is it something else? But we can start to dig into that and really pinpoint who that customer is and how we might be able to help them, because regardless, they're a top spender. Same thing in retail, right? We look for anomalies. So we have a lot that makes sense. Their quantity versus dollars is pretty similar. And then here's one who's buying a lot of smaller items as well. Or maybe we find anomalies the other way. Someone who's spending a lot of money on very few items. Maybe they're buying a lot of game use merchandise or memorabilia, signed memorabilia. So maybe there's something special we want to do for them to say, hey, you've spent $10,000 on memorabilia from games. Here, we'd love to give you this home run ball that hasn't even been put up for sale. We think you'd really appreciate it. So stuff like that. Okay. So again, just a lot of examples on all of the things that you can do with the intelligence. But really the important message here is, in order to get all of this information, in order to get that total picture of the fan or the customer, you really need the complete venue. And that's what we're talking about today. You need Retail Pro at point of sale. You need eMobile at food and beverage, and you need status pulling the whole thing together with the stored value, with the promotions, and then giving us all of this data at the end. And certainly we ran through a lot here in a short period of time for the purpose of demonstration. Would love to interact one-on-one and get a more customized demo, more configured to your team, to your venue, and really be able to have a dialogue. What questions, what programs are you thinking about, and then how those can really fit in the complete venue. All right, thank you.
Okay, Aaron, thank you so much. We are starting to see a few questions pop in. And hold on for a second here. There we go. And so why don't we give another few minutes for some questions to pop in, and then we can look to start to address them. Okay, good. Good to see them coming through. Okay. All right, why don't we get started with some questions and some answers. So one question, how difficult is it to access or get access to all of this data? And is it really real time? Kind of the answer to that is that's really the beauty of the IMS Complete Venue. All of the systems in the solution are deeply connected so that you can get access to all transaction data, point of sale transaction, mobile transaction data, as well as fan-specific data down to the item level. And it's all accessible in real time via status intelligence. And it's out of the box. So you don't need data team resources. You don't need data warehouses. You don't need separate resources. This is all part of the solution. Okay, let's get into another question here, which is a good question. Excuse me. All right. So after drilling down, can you market to a specific silo directly through the platform? So the answer is yes. So as part of the solution comes with status bundling and rewards. And status bundling rewards works seamlessly and is integrated seamlessly with your ticketing system so that it is driven by bundles that you create in the system and your ticketing system and can go down to any number of price levels, individual customers to groups of customers. So as you gather information and you want to create different bundles for different groups of customers, you can easily do that. And you can do that through a combination of stored value rewards as well as multiple and various item-based rewards or combinations, very similar to what Aaron had shared with you today. All right, let's get into one more question I think that is important. And a few people have kind of asked this question. Can I use my existing systems? So the answer to that is yes, but always with a qualifier. So today, Status as an integration hub is integrated with many different systems. But the majority of those systems, their integrations to Status are written and controlled by those individual systems. And experience has told us that most of those integrations are not written deeply enough to allow for the robust bundling rewards capabilities or the data communication and data flow back to Status. As we kind of talked about earlier in the grid in the presentation, you get a lot of these point players that may do well within their individual silo, but then they do not do well when it comes to providing data access for engagement, data access for analysis at the enterprise level. So you really miss out on those significant opportunities to drive significant incremental revenue, and again, getting access to all that real-time data. So there's always a trade-off. And through our years of experience, that's one of the primary reasons that we brought this solution together, is so that you can get your business line capabilities, but then through the seamless connection and integrations, really get the ability to engage and reward your fans, driving maximum new incremental revenue and unique insights that point solutions and point integrations just won't deliver. So hopefully that answered the question. I think that's a good sampling of the questions that we have. So I think that should kind of wrap it up for today. One of the things that we'll be doing is following up with all the attendees individually with an email and a link to set up a meeting with us. We'll be glad to do deep dives on any specific areas, answer more questions specifically, and hopefully, share with you and continue to deep dive into how we can help you grow your business more profitably. So thanks everyone for attending today, and we look forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you.